Hello everyone, I hope you're keeping fine. This time we're going to be looking at the fatal train crash that occurred on the 1st of July 1893 on a bend just outside the original Poulton Le Fylde station. But before we do that, we will look at a short history of the line first. I also take the opportunity to ask you to like and share the video if you like it, and to subscribe to the channel should you wish to do so. It is entirely free. And if you haven't already done so, please check out the video on the Blackpool North Station, which is just further up the line from this station. The link for this is in the description. So, the Preston and Wyre Railway opened the first railway through Poulton in 1840. The line linked Preston to Fleetwood and was used for goods and passengers. The Preston to Fleetwood line was originally planned as a main route from London to Scotland. At the time it was thought that it would not be possible to put a railway line over Shap Fell or make engines powerful enough to get over it. However, in 1840 they succeeded in doing so, and the London to Scotland route via Fleetwood was bypassed. Ta-ta to that. The original station was the junction of Station Road and Breck Road on the land now occupied by McCarthy and Stone Crocus Court Apartments. The station was on the east side of Breck Road, with a level crossing allowing the trains to proceed northwest to Fleetwood. Two inns were built to accommodate travellers, the Railway and Station Hotel and the Royal Oak, both now demolished. Before the 1846 branch line was built, travellers for Blackpool had to disembark at Poulton and continue their journey by horse-drawn carriage. As always, there were passenger complaints. Almost from the start, there were complaints about the facilities at the original station, as evidenced by the following newspaper article extract at the time. Few words are needed to demonstrate the fact that the present railway station, or apology for a station at Poulton, is altogether inadequate for present requirements. Blackpool Herald, 2nd of April, 1846. Anyway, that's enough of that. On to the main point of this video. The fatal train crash that occurred on the 1st of July 1893. There were 3 fatalities and many injuries when a train travelling from Blackpool to Stockport left the track on the sharp bend leading into the original Poulton Station. The inquest and accident investigation determined that the train was being driven by a driver not trained on the route, or the need to reduce speed as he approached the bend. Even before the fatal crash, the railway company was aware of the hazard of the tight curve on the Blackpool branch line and had planned a new route. An Act of Parliament was passed in 1892 authorising the new lines. However, the accident forced their hand to get on with the work. In a report released following the accident, this report went on to state, with regard to the high speed at which the train must have been running at the time of the accident, it must be attributed to the fact that the deceased driver, Cornelius Ridgway, not being well acquainted with the line between Blackpool and Poulton, and having a light train consisting of only 4 vehicles, had reached the curve before he was aware of it, and had neglected consequently to reduce his speed as he had doubtless intended to do. It appears that Ridgway had last driven a train to Blackpool and back on the 26th of June, when he had left Blackpool at 8:24 p.m, and would therefore have passed over the curve in daylight. Previously to this, there is no record of his being at Blackpool for 3 years. It is satisfactory to know that parliamentary powers have been obtained by an Act passed in 1892 for making a new station at Poulton and for getting rid of the objectionable level crossing at the station and at the curve at which this accident took place. The inhabitants have long been urging the companies to do this, and it's certainly surprising that, considering the very important passenger traffic which is carried on between Preston and Talbot Road Station, now known as Blackpool North, the company should have been so long in obtaining powers to effect the improvement of the curve and other alterations alluded to. The problems listed above eventually forced the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway and the London and North Western Railways to create a better solution for a railway service in Poulton. The result was the creation of a realigned railway passing through a cutting that enabled it to cross Breck Road under a road bridge, with a new station opened in 1896. The new layout was a huge undertaking and had a significant effect on the landscape of Poulton. There were 6 new bridges that were previously only level crossings, 7 culverts and 5 new signal boxes. The station, costing £60,000 at the time, was brought from the margins of the town right into the centre. The length of the platform was 348 yards, one of the longest in the country, to accommodate excursion trains going to Blackpool. Several houses in Titherbarn Street and Breck Road were demolished and 300,000 cubic yards of soil removed to make cuttings and embankments. 300 men worked on the project. The new layout incorporated double tracks to both Fleetwood and Blackpool, goods lines going as far as the old station, now used as a goods yard, and in 1899 the Poulton Curve was added so that trains could travel direct from Blackpool to Fleetwood. Between 1908 and 1952, Poulton Curve Hull was operated so that passengers could alight and board at the hull at Titherbarn Street. When the Curve Hull opened in 1908, there were 3 stations in operation, as the original station was still an active goods station. The new layout required 5 signal boxes to control the semaphore signals and points. When the passenger traffic to Fleetwood closed in 1970 and the goods traffic in 1999, most of these signal boxes became disused. Signal box number 3 remained until the line was electrified, when the signalling and points were modernised and control moved to a central facility in Manchester. If you would like to know more about the Fleetwood line, I've also done a video on this. I will put a link to the Blackpool North and the Fleetwood line videos in the description of this video. So there we go, folks. That is the end of this video on the Poulton railway stations and obviously the accident which occurred before the repositioning of the current station. I do hope you have liked this video. If you have, please remember to like, share and click on the notification buttons to never miss a video. If you also like my other videos, don't forget to subscribe. It's completely free. Thank you for your support. Enjoy yourselves whatever you're doing for the rest of the day or whenever you're watching this, and goodbye for now.